Are gifts to your suppliers, like your estate agents, allowable for tax? Hi, I'm Kimberly Shapcott, qualified chartered accountant, property investor and entrepreneur. Let's sit down and have a chat. Do you give gifts to your suppliers? So I'm thinking here maybe your estate agents or those that are providing you leads and really helping you get the projects. Now, if that's the case, it's a great way to potentially encourage those that you're working with to give you the opportunity on those opportunities. But is that expense allowable in your business, in your company, and is it allowable for tax? Well, to answer the first question, is it allowable in your business? The answer is definitely yes, because if you are a company and you are providing gifts to your suppliers, then it is a company expense. So should you be putting that expense through your business? Definitely. Now, the question of is it allowable for tax is a slightly different question, and this tends to fall within the entertaining guidelines, which means in actual fact, potentially, the gifts are not allowable for tax purposes. So you should definitely be including those expenses as business expenses. However, you're not going to be able to get tax relief on them. So if you're operating as a sole trader, then potentially they're just going to be an expense to you as it's not a separate entity. If you're in a company, then they're definitely a company expense, but we're not going to have to include them when we do the tax calculations. So it's not going to be reducing your corporation tax. Now, just to make sure we know what we're talking about with gifts, we are talking about something that is given to a person without the expectation that they're going to give you anything in return. So one of the key things I want to just make sure we are happy with is that yes, it can be really beneficial to give these sorts of gifts to those business contacts that are helping us develop our business. However, we just need to be mindful of, in essence, how much we're spending on them. So for someone who's maybe not giving us all the deals or the opportunities, it may be that you want to only be giving them small gifts. So you might spend £10-20 on maybe a box of chocolates or flowers. Whereas for someone who is doing a pretty good job, you may be thinking, hey, shall I get them a bottle of whiskey or a new handbag? I don't know, whatever floats that person's boat to keep them on side and keep them helping you develop things. In some ways, a cost of doing business. Now, whatever you do, you need to make sure you keep the receipts. So whether that is something that you use through a business card or whether you just use a personal credit card, you need to keep the receipt, keep the expense to put with your company records. So this is so that you can claim that through your company. If it's in your own name, this is sort of unfortunately just a sunk cost. So if you do happen to pay for something, flowers, chocolates, a bottle of wine or something on a personal credit card, then if this is the case, make sure you keep your receipt, complete an expense claim form, and if you're not sure how to do that, check out the video on expense claim forms, and then you can claim that money back out of the company when there is sufficient funds there to reimburse yourself. Finally, make sure you're claiming these expenses through your company if you're operating through a company, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to get tax relief and reduce our corporation tax in this circumstance, but it is definitely worthwhile including them as a business expense. Hopefully today you found how you deal with gifts to your suppliers, like your estate agents. If you have any questions, then please do leave a comment. Please like the video and do subscribe to the channel. And let's make tax less taxing.